You've probably never asked yourself the question, can I take over an entire city with just a wooden horse? Well, if you bear with me, I can tell you about a time the Greeks did just that. To start things off, Troy was a beautiful city, an ocean away from Greece. And let me tell you, the Greeks really, really wanted to get into Troy, but the Trojans had a giant, indestructible wall around their city to prevent them from coming in. These types of walls were pretty common for this time period. A lot of different cities made sure that they had them just to prevent enemies and unwanted neighbors from coming in whenever they wanted. I guess you can say if you want to keep the drama out, building a wall is a great way to do it. The Greeks, obviously, wanting to get in, had been trying to do so for 10 years, and the Trojans, not really wanting to let that happen, had been preventing them from coming in for 10 years. This resulted in a stalemate, no one was winning, and no one was really losing. Then comes along a famous guy named Odysseus. He was a Greek general, and let me tell you, he had quite the portfolio. This man had slain a cyclops and also swam against a hurricane, amongst many other things. So Odysseus had the great idea of telling his soldiers, hey, why don't we build a giant horse, fill it with some of you guys, and leave it as a surrendering gift? You might be wondering, why would anyone ever accept a gift from their enemy? Well, around this time period, it was a pretty common thing for, people who surrender to leave a gift. And it made sense for the Greeks to leave a horse because they were famous for their arts. It's like, here, take this present with no strings attached, except maybe there's an entire army inside of it. So the best artists from Greece got together and made a giant horse with this beautiful design, and they put 30 people inside of it, 30 soldiers, left it by the wall, and the rest of the army just sailed away. When the Trojans saw the horse, they could not believe their eyes. How had the stubborn and persistent Greeks surrendered overnight? It was like they'd been horsing around for 10 years. Anyways, the Trojans took the horse inside, shut the gates, and started talking about it. Should we burn it down? Should we get rid of it? Is it worth even keeping? Well, most of the Trojans didn't agree with the skeptics and decided to keep it so they could rub it in the Greeks' face. At this time, the Trojans were known to be braggers, so this fit pretty well with their character. Later that night, when all the soldiers, families, pets, and everyone else was asleep in Troy, the Greeks decided to sneak out of the horse and creep towards the gate, tiptoeing around all the sleeping people, and suddenly, boom, they opened up the gate and the entire army flooded in and took over Troy. And that's the story of how a Trojan horse ended the Great War of Troy.